Hello everyone, this is the Dumb and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving back into the creation of my first game. With my previous experience creating game, I was hoping that I will be able to make more progress on this one. So let's jump right into game development. Before we proceed on creating the additional features for the game, let us first fix some of the things I noticed that need to be changed on the systems that we have already created. Here I have created a list of the things that needs to changed and updated on the game. Chest and roof placement, carrot and potato plant sprite height, and exploding chest and crop harvest. As you can see here, the chest is floating when placed on the ground. It also do not snap properly to the other chest. It snaps, but they are too far away when placed on the front. The roof also have some issue snapping to other object. They do not connect on the edge of the model. This issue occurs because the snapping of the object on this game was based on the scale of the model in Unity. Meaning, the size doesn't matter. Even if the model has the size of 2 inches, the game will ignore this and still feel satisfied and will snap on what the scale of the model. As much as we want for the size not to matter, we need the snapping to be based on the size of the model. After a week of procrastinating, the word that is so freaking easy to do but so hard to pronounce, I eventually fixed this issue. I just added the size of the model on the prefab and based the snapping on it. Sounds simple and easy, but what it actually means is I have to delete my previous building system and remake a new one. But it was worth it, because the last building system only works on a cube-shaped prefabs. But the new building system also works on weird-shaped building prefab like the corner of the roof. With the chest and roof placement done, let us proceed on fixing the carrot and potato plant height. The potato and carrot plants are made of images, so I just recreated them on Photopea half the size of the previous sprites. Here is what they look like on the game. Let us move on fixing the exploding chest and crop harvest. For this one I just minimized the explosion radius and a drag to the rigid body of the items. It still explode, but not too far, so I considered it fixed.
Nice.
I also have added more building prefabs and fixed the colors of the other prefab. I think I can even build a house now. So I did. Not because I am procrastinating again, but I just want to test if you can really build stuff on the game now. Yep, that is why. There is no door and windows yet, but I think the models were alright. Also, after checking the prefabs, there is a lot of slits on the walls. Should I changed it not to have those or keep them? Please let me know in the comment on your thoughts. I go through the troubles of creating my house, but once I stop the game and play again, just like my money and savings, it disappears. So I decided to create a saving and loading system. After searching on YouTube on how to save and load game data on Unity, I saw a tutorial where you have to get the properties of each game object on your game and converting it to JSON file, then saving it. My potato brain thought there is no way that is how you should save the game. I thought saving and loading a game is just saving the scene, something like that. But I was wrong. After more searching on Google and forums, it becomes clear that this is the only way I can save and load on Unity. There are different save file type like XML and data encryptions, but the process is the same. Also, if you are a noob like me and you would like to create a saving system, I highly suggest not to use encryptions on your save file, because it is a bit hard to troubleshoot something when you cannot read the data you are working on. Also, this saving and loading game data looks complicated, but it is a bit simple if you understand how the saving actually works. To save and load the game data, I just added a button to run the save and load script. I will change it to starting and exiting the game once I have tested that it works. Now let's close the game and run it again. Now for the moment of truth. Will it load? Even the chest items get loaded. Now let us continue by making the night and day cycle. In just a second I created the night and day cycle. Just kidding, I watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube. It take me 3 days to make this work. I get tempted to just copy someone else's work and call it a day. But it's gonna be hard to troubleshoot if a problem occurs, so I tried to make my own. It's not perfect, but I made it. I still didn't know how it worked though. Also, is it just me or the plants and the ground looks like glowing at night? The plants and the ground are made from pictures, so there might be some issues using images as models. I have read your comments and suggestion on the previous video, and it really helped me making decisions regarding the game. Please let me know your thoughts regarding this. Next, I updated the farming system, so the plants takes a longer time to grow. The plant will be called every second and have a chance to grow based on the growth chanced. As you can see, each plant now have their own growing pace. But still, the longer the plant are placed, the higher the chance of it growing. I also added a building mode to the game. The player can press tab to activate and deactivate this mode. I made it so the player can select a building item on their hotbar without triggering the temp building placement. With this change, I was able to add the hotbar scrolling on the normal mode, which allows the player to choose the item using the mouse scroll. Next, someone in the comments suggested the harvested crops to gravitated toward the player. So I decided to try to do this on crop harvest. However, for some reason the characters learns item bending like the avatar and start flying upwards. Then he decided to become the first boss, the potato levitator. Until the potato decided that it needed some space. So I tried to fix it fast because we all know where this is going. It's not the same as the suggested game example, but I think this is more appropriate for this game. Next, I added a slime. Let's pretend that this cube is a slime. I will create a proper slime model in the future. For now, this will do. Next, I have added a script to make it move and follow the player. I only added a move script, but this lewd slime. So I added range where it can locate the player, so it doesn't hump the player wherever it go. I also slower it a bit. As you can see, it starts following when the player was detected, and it stops once the player is no longer on its range. Then I added an attack mechanic to the player so it can defend itself from this lewd slime. I also implemented a health bar for the slime. As you can see now, the player can attack the slime and it disappear when its health went to 0. Then I create a script so the slime drops an item when the health went to 0. It looks like poop. Now it has an idle behavior. It will move to a certain direction every 10 seconds. As you can see, now it wander on its own without the interference of the player. Then I created a script that spawned the slimes on a random location. Lewd, the slime is still confined inside the fence though, because of what it did. Since the slime has a health bar, the player should also have one. So I added a health bar for the player. Let's go and test it. Not with Lewd though, because he only know how to hump players. This indecent slime. This slime will do. As you can see, I have added an attack script to the slimes, and it damage every 2 seconds, and the damage shows on the player's health bar, so it is working. Now for when the health bar went down to 0. I just teleport the player to the center of the terrain. However, I forgot that Lewd was on that coordinate. We almost got hump again by this slime. But the health bar didn't go back to full once respawned. So let me fix it in a second. I created a simple game over menu with the respawn button. This will show once the health goes to 0. So let's try it out if this will work. As you can see, it appears once the health bar goes to 0. But I forgot that the mouse cursor is locked. So we have to allow it first. Give me just another second. I think I fixed it. Let's try it out. I also moved the respawn point outside Lewd's cell. Next, I created a simple tree model on Blender. I think it's time to add something to the game world, so we have something to look at than a plain ground. I made a pine tree. It's easy to make, and the Christmas is near, so it's in season. But the first model I made is a bit small. So I resize it on Blender and created another one. I am not sure with the size yet, I might change it again. Next, I placed the trees on the trees using the terrain component. It still look a bit odd though. I am not sure if I like it. Also, if I instantiate the tree using this, the player cannot interact with the tree. If possible, I would like the player to be able to cut down the trees. So I made a script that instantiate the trees randomly on the world just like the slimes. And with this way I can interact with the trees. I might try the procedural generation for spawning things. But I need to study it first because I do not want to lose my mind trying to create it now. Then I added this guy. The most merchant looking guy I have created. The perfect merchant, I mean, look at the way it stand on its basic three-dimensional geometric shape consisting of a cylinder with hemispherical ends body. If you are looking for a merchant, this is the guy that you will look for. Since we already have the perfect merchant, let us also add the trading system. The system has two windows, the merchant's item window, where the player buy items by pressing the button with its price. The player coin will get deducted automatically and the button will disable if the player do not have enough coins to buy the item. Next is the player sell window. It holds the player's current coin and the items on the player's inventory with the price of each item. The coin is automatically added to the coin counter when the items were sold. And the item will disappear on the window when it was sold out. Now that we can access the merchant, we need to have a way to exit out of the store. For this, I set the escape key as the close button. I got confused on how to set this up because I normally use the listening for button features on Unity. As you can see here, when you press F1 it shows up on the options. But when you press the escape button it just closes out this feature. So here is a tip from a noob with experience. You can click the listen button and press any key. Then choose the button that you press. Then click the button on the side so you can edit the path and type in escape, then enter. With that, the escape key is set up. There is still a lot of things that need to be fixed and added features on the game. But I think I will take a break on coding and focus more on making models and sprites for the game. So on the next video, we might focus on creating models and sprites. I need to also practice my Blender skill because it is going to be the basis on what the game will look like on the future. I am not the best at designing, but I will do my best to make a good looking model. It has been a month since I uploaded my last video. I think I made more progress now compared to my first video, which take me 3 months to make. I really appreciate your comment and suggestions on my last video. It really helps out on making decision for the game. That is the time where I'm most likely to procrastinate when making decision on what to do or how to do things. So thank you. If you got more comment and suggestion, please do let me know on the comments. With the gameplay, it is a bit boring because there is not much to do on the game for now. But I got plans on what to be added next. I hope that make the game more interesting. With the merchant added, I think the game is playable now. That is just my goal on this video, so I will be ending it here. If you got to this part, please subscribe and like, I am begging you. Thank you.